Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Barb, and if you're new here, welcome in, and we're here for another episode of Get Vulnerable with me. If you're new here, Get Vulnerable with me is all about embracing that it's okay to not be okay. And for this week's segment, I actually wanted to open up about something that's really close and personal to me. And I feel like I have so much to say about this, and I'll do my best to get straight to the point because I'm gonna try to just be as raw, as real as possible, meaning I don't wanna go through and edit a bunch of stuff out. I want it to come completely, genuinely from the heart when I talk about this topic. Or I think this is the most vulnerable that I'm gonna be so far in these Get Vulnerables with me, because most of my topics have been a little bit more of like things that I've learned that week, or I've asked you guys on Instagram, what I should talk about next week, etc. But this is something that I've noticed has been a pattern in my life, and I feel like the more that I talk about it, the more that maybe I'll be able to work through it myself. But also I wanted to share this with you guys because it's something that I think is taboo, and that's almost like everything else that is uncomfortable. We just don't like talking about things that are uncomfortable as a society, but that's why I'm here. That's why we're doing these, because we want to make sure that we are constantly embracing that it's okay to not be okay. And recently I haven't been the most okay. And you know why? I'll dive right into it. Recently I've been overthinking so much, and I sound like a hypocrite because one of my last videos was just on overthinking and how not to. And the reason being is because I feel like I get a lot of judgment from people just glancing at me, looking at me, seeing how I dress. Mind you, like, I think I wear normal clothes, whatever. How I dress, how I walk, how I talk, the fact that I do content creation for a living, the fact that, honestly, I don't know. People have been very quick to make judgment calls about me, and I don't know why, considering they don't even give me a chance to, they just make assumptions about me. And I'll explain. There's been a few instances where I felt this way. Like not too long ago, I went on a trip for a friend's special occasion, and I was going through some personal stuff, and I was just a little bit more to myself. And I try my best to be present and still show up and put my bullshit aside and be there. But because I was a little to myself, there was a lot of judgment going on, but in the sense of apparently I didn't want to be there because I wasn't my normal self, or because I wasn't super talkative. And I really thought about it. I was like, was that it? Or like, am I just growing to be more and more reserved and shy, which is the case? And I stopped to think about it. If you would have met me 2 years ago, before I did this full time, I was unapologetically, authentically me. Raw, real, what you see is what you get. But the more that you try to put yourself out there, and especially if you're doing it in front of a camera, chasing your dreams, whether that's starting a business, doing the influencing, model, vlogger thing, whatever you want to call it. If you're in this kind of space, I feel like people are constantly on the internet, sitting behind their screen, the keyboard warriors is what I call them, looking for something to criticize about you. I don't know why. To me, it's something that never made sense, considering I've never thought to just go out of my way to be rude or mean to someone that I don't even know. To be honest, I don't have time to do that. I'm so busy that I always think, how do people even have time and energy to be spreading those kind of hate comments or mean comments or whatever it is? And when you're doing what I'm doing, or you're in my space, like I mentioned, to whatever capacity, I feel like it happens so frequently that you almost feel like, as much as you want to be authentic and unapologetically you, so much adversity comes your way from people who just have nothing better to do but just put you down. And over time, I feel like it's made me become more and more guarded, and I've become a very, which maybe it doesn't seem that way considering that I'm sitting here talking to you guys, but I've become so shy. And to, I guess, come back to the story I was telling about the trip, that's what I said. I was like, you know what, like, maybe you don't get it because you're not in like my daily life, but after so much of dealing with some of the things that I do, you become more guarded, and you feel like you almost have to like water yourself down, and because people always find something to criticize, whether it's something you say, something you do, something you wear, your weight, your makeup, your hair, like it's everything. I've heard it all. I've had people be so mean to me on the internet, and then it started to happen in real life. People don't even give me a chance to see if I'm a good or bad person. They look at me and they just don't want anything to do with me sometimes. And I've had people admit that to me and then say, oh, I thought you were a or, oh, I thought that you weren't gonna be, you know, a nice girl, or like whatever it is. There's already a stigma by just the way that I look that people can't approach me or don't want to approach me. And that made this whole feeling I had 10 times worse. And I'm like, damn, that sucks, because I feel like I was one person, but because there's a world out there of people who are just so quick to jump to conclusions based on nothing but what they see rather than getting to know someone, that you become more and more guarded. And I miss the girl that was raw and real and unapologetically herself, because she inspired other people to do the same thing. And I feel like I'm trying to find that girl again inside of me. I know she's there, but I feel like I've been struggling. I've been struggling to bring that part out in me because of how often it happens to me that people don't give me a chance. And don't get me wrong, this isn't everyone. It happens enough to where it's affected me at this point, because if it didn't happen that often, I blow it off, shake it off, no big deal. So with that being said, I guess my Get Vulnerable with me this week is just about like me recently feeling very like guarded and feeling like I can't really come out of my shell, and I'm really working on it. But yeah, it's been hard. It's been hard because I sometimes get scared to say the wrong thing, or scared to make a joke because someone might not like it and have an opinion of me, whatever. Like, it's become where I almost feel anxiety to post, anxiety to talk, anxiety to, in real life, have conversations, because I'm scared someone's gonna make a judgment call. The whole point of me creating this channel and creating these segments is to talk more about my personality, my experiences, my life, you know, being vulnerable and sharing not just the good, but the bad, the ugly, everything in between. And it's been something that's been really, really hard for me, but I am working towards overcoming it. And I don't know if anyone can relate or if anyone goes through this too, but I love to hear from you. Let me know in the comments if this is something that you struggle with as well, or if you found something that's helped you move past it. I love to hear from you guys. So yeah, that's a wrap for this one. I just wanted to open up about myself this week, but I did get a really good suggestion for next week's topic. So please check in next week, stay tuned for our next video, and I hope this video that I made this week gives you some insight on just the parts that you don't see of me on my platforms. And with that being said, remember to give people chances, be kind. You never know what somebody's going through. You never know what kind of day someone's having, and it's free to be nice. So that's a wrap, guys. I'll see you guys next time. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.